his pregnant wife barely conscious, blood pooling on the marble tiles. Instead of calling an ambulance, instead of rushing her to the hospital and withdrawing from his evil plan, he dragged her to the backyard and buried her alive with their unborn child. All for his mistress who'd given him an ultimatum. 2 weeks to get rid of that useless woman or I'm gone. Hello guys, welcome to my channel where interesting stories of love, betrayal and unimaginable darkness are told. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share it with your friends and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Emeka Okoli was everything a woman could want. Successful businessman, devoted father, attentive husband. For 8 years, Ngozi had believed she'd married her soulmate. Tonight was the anniversary, 8 years of what she thought was pure love. After putting Zara to bed, Emeka had been extra tender. He'd massaged Ngozi's swollen feet while she relaxed on the couch, his strong hands working away the aches of pregnancy. "Go take a warm shower, my love," he whispered. "I'll clean up here." Ngozi smiled, kissed his forehead, and waddled toward their master bathroom, humming softly. She never saw it coming. The bathroom filled with steam. Ngozi stood under the rainfall shower, hot water cascading over her shoulders, when she heard the door open. "Emeka, is everything?" The pistol grip connected with her skull with brutal force. The world exploded in white light and pain. Ngozi crumpled, her scream dying in her throat as consciousness flickered. Through the haze, she felt herself being dragged, her wet body sliding across tiles, then carpet. She tried to speak, to understand, but her mouth wouldn't work. Blood ran into her eyes. Emeka's heart pounded as he dragged his semi-conscious wife through the house. Her fingers twitched, reaching weakly for him. She was still alive, still breathing. The rational part of his brain screamed at him, "Hospital, ambulance, fix this, save her." But another voice drowned it out. Chidinma's voice, sharp and demanding. 2 weeks, Emeka, get rid of that useless woman and marry me, or I'm gone, and I'm taking our son with me. Their son, the 3-year-old boy Chidinma had given him in secret, the child Ngozi knew nothing about. The mistress who'd started as a fling but had become an obsession, a fever he couldn't break. Emeka paused at the back door, looking down on Ngozi. Her lips moved soundlessly, tears mixed with blood on her face. For a moment, just a moment, he hesitated. This was his wife, the mother of his child, carrying his baby. Then his phone buzzed. Chidinma's text. "TikTok baby, time's running out." A Chidinma text with a heart emoji. Chidinma. He didn't reply. Something broke inside him. Or maybe it had broken long ago and he was just now noticing. He wrapped Ngozi in a tarp and carried her to the back of their massive property where the garden ended and the trees began. The shovel was already there. He'd prepared this spot 2 days ago, telling the gardener he wanted to plant a special tree for the new baby. The irony wasn't lost on him. He dug frantically, dirt flying in the moonlight. Ngozi stirred in the tap, a weak moan escaping her lips. She was fighting, still fighting. The baby inside her kicked. He could see the movement through the plastic. His child, his wife, both alive. Emeka's heart shook as he lowered her into the shallow grave. Ngozi's eyes fluttered open, unfocused, but seeing him. Recognition flickered across her face. Her mouth formed one word. Why? He didn't answer. Couldn't answer. He just started shoveling dirt, each heap landing with a dull thud on the tap, on his wife, on his unborn child, on everything he'd once been. When the last shovelful fell, Emeka stood there, chest heaving, covered in dirt and sweat and damnation. From the house, he could hear Zara's music box playing, the lullaby Ngozi wound up every night. He'd just buried her mother alive. The darkness was absolute. Ngozi couldn't breathe, plastic pressed against her face, dirt weighing down on her chest like 1,000 hands pushing her to hell. Pain radiated through her skull where Emeka had struck her, but worse than the pain was the understanding. Her husband, the man who'd kissed her swollen belly that morning, who promised to love her forever, had buried her alive. She tried to scream, but dirt filled her mouth. Her hands clawed uselessly at the tap, her movements weak and uncoordinated. The baby kicked frantically inside her, as if sensing their shared doom. My baby. God, please, my baby. Above ground, Emeka stumbled back to the house like a zombie. He stripped off his dirty clothes, showered until his skin was raw, then climbed into bed. Sleep never came. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Ngozi's face asking why. At 3 a.m., his phone lit up. Can't wait to be Mrs. Okoli. Love you, baby, with a heart emoji. Chidima. He didn't reply. Morning came, too bright, too normal. Zara bounced into his room asking for mommy. She went to visit grandma. Emeka lied, his voice hollow. Emergency. She'll call you later. But mommy always says goodbye. Zara insisted, her little face confused. Not this time, princess. Now go get ready for school. By day 3, Ngozi's family started calling. Her sister, Adiaze, was first. Emeka, Ngozi isn't answering her phone. Is everything okay? He fed them the same story. Emergency trip, bad network, she'd call soon. They believed him. Why wouldn't they? He was Emeka Okoli, the perfect husband. On day 5, he reported her missing. The police came, searched the house, questioned him gently because he was respected, wealthy, connected. They searched everywhere except the fresh mound of earth beneath the angel oak tree, which Emeka said was a memorial garden he'd started planting for their anniversary. She loved gardens, he told them, tears in his eyes that were somehow real. The officers patted his shoulder sympathetically. Day 7, Chidima moved in. She didn't even pretend to wait a respectable period. She arrived with suitcases and their son, a boy who looked disturbingly like Emeka. Zara hated her on sight. You're not my mommy. Where's my real mommy? Chidima's smile was ice. Your mommy left because she didn't love you enough, but I'm here now. That night, Emeka stood at his bedroom window staring at the garden. Was it his imagination or the ground had sunk slightly? He'd packed the dirt tight, but bodies settled, didn't they? Decomposed, changed shape. He poured himself another drink, his 5th that hour. 3 weeks after the burial, strange things began. The house smelled like Ngozi's perfume, jasmine and vanilla, but only in certain rooms, at certain times. Zara insisted she heard mommy crying at night. Emeka dismissed it as grief, imagination, but he heard it too. Soft sobbing coming from the walls, the floors, the very foundation of their home. Chidima noticed nothing. She was too busy redecorating, erasing every trace of Ngozi's existence. Photos disappeared, clothes donated. The nursery Ngozi had lovingly prepared was painted over in gorish pink. Fresh start, Chidima announced. But some things wouldn't stay buried. 2 months later, the gardener approached Emeka with concern. Sir, the memorial garden, something's wrong. The plants keep dying, and the ground, it's moving sometimes, like something underneath is shifting. Emeka's blood turned to ice. It's just settling, new soil, don't worry about it. That night he dreamed of Ngozi. She was underground, pregnant belly enormous, clawing at the earth above her head, her fingers bloody, nails torn off. She looked directly at him through 6 feet of dirt and whispered, You can't bury the truth forever, Emeka. It always rises. He woke up screaming. Chidima sat up beside him, annoyed. Another nightmare? You need to see someone. This guilt complex is getting old. Guilt complex, as if he'd forgotten to pay a bill, not buried his wife alive. He believed he'd gotten away with murder. He was wrong. In part 2, the child begins to speak. The garden starts to move, and the truth claws its way back to the surface. Subscribe and stay tuned.